Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Wordle tutorial, 9:24 a.m. Monday, July 21st, 2025. Go get them. It's Monday. Stay positive. A lot of negative people out there. Ignore them. Just do your best. Okay. And I'm going to use the word amity. I watched Jaws 2 yesterday. The previous Sunday I watched Jaws. So in honor of the 50th anniversary, I was in the theater for all the movies because I'm 63. I'm watching all 4 movies here these couple weeks. So Amity was the town. Not a real town, by the way, although Amityville from the Amityville Horror is a real town. So there's your little trivia fact for you. But amity also means friendship. So there, you learn. This is an Urban Legends trivia channel. You've learned it. I normally would not use this word because the M is not common or the Y, but we're just having a little fun here. So Jaws 2, by the way, not as good as Jaws 1. Spielberg didn't direct it. I didn't hate it. A lot of people don't like it at all, but I gave it a 65 out of 100. But I give the original Jaws a 95. That's the acting is just crazy good. Okay, now look at this. We got the Y green. Amity came up big. We got the Y green in that 5th position, the TI. So let's use our ETAOIN SHRDLUC system. It's my patented system. Not really. It's not patented, but it'll get you these in 3 or 4, about 7 out of 10 times. You know, I'm finding without using a computer or looking at the word. So it works. It uses data analytics. It's a fun system. I think you'll like it. So ETAOIN SHRDLUC. ETAOIN SHRDLUC. So these are the next 5 most common letters in the English language. So in other words, let's make a word with these 3 letters and 2 of these letters. See what we're doing? We need a great second word. So E, start with the E, E-T-I. I'm not seeing the word. E-T-I, E-Tinny, E-N-I-E-N, entity. Oh, it's not too many letters. E-N-T-I-T-Y, 6 letters. Darn. E-N-T-I-T-Y. Well, the T couldn't go there anyway. 6 letters. And, okay, don't say anything there. Start with an O. O-T-I, Otany, N-I-T-N-I, N-A-S-T-Y, nasty, but you can't, you have to have the I. Nasty Girl, a song by Vanity 6 from the Prince days. S-N-S-T-S-T-O-R-Y, story. I gotta have an I. Darn, what is this? T-H-I. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. So let's just try to make, okay, let's try to make any word at this point. So my system is not working so good right now. So let's just put the A, B, Bitsy, like Itsy Bitsy Spider. That works. B-I-T-S-Y. B-I-T-S-Y. Bitsy, Itsy Bitsy Spider. Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Da-da-da-da-da-da, nobody knows the words. Da-da-da-da-da, Itsy Bitsy Spider went away. Okay. All right, Bitsy. The I is green, so we got that in the 2nd position. A lot of times these vowels are in positions 2 and 4, but I don't think there's a vowel here in front of that Y. Now we know the T is here. So after second guess, always a good time to review your vowels. A is out. Haven't used the E. We got the I. Haven't tried the O or the U, and we got the Y. So I don't see any word that could have another vowel here. And the T has to be here. So we know it's T-I. We know it's T-I something something Y. T-I something something Y. What? The world? There's no such word. T-I something something Y. T-I something something Y. So let's use my, well, at this point, let's just forgo the system and just go to the alphabet because it's going to be whatever letter works. T-I-A-B, Tibby. C-C-D-D-T-I-D-E-F. TIFFY? TIFFY? Like someone who's in a tiff? TIFFY? Okay, let's hold on to that. I've never heard anybody use that word, but G-H-I-J-K-L, Tilly, Meg Tilly, right? Wasn't she in a horror movie? L-M-N, Tinny, oh, Tinny, there we go, and that's double N, so that's probably it. O-P, Tippy, don't know, Tippy Hedren, she was in a horror movie too, right? P-Q-Q-U-R-S-T-T-I-T, we can't use that word, T-I-Q, this is family channel, T-U-V, Tivy, W-X, Tixie, Y-Z, Tizzy, we're in a tizzy, I think that's a slang, I don't think that's a word. So at this point, going by my ETAOIN SHRDLUC system, TINNY, N is the next most common letter. ETAOIN. So the next mathematical choice, which is what I do, I don't just make wild guesses, is TINNY. And it's a word, and it's not it. Okay, so now, what was our other one? TIFFY. So I guess it's got to be TIFFY, right? I can't. Do we have any other choices? TIFFY? What about TIFFY? I'm going with TIFFY. At this point, F or a P, it doesn't really matter. Not a word. TIFFY's not a word. If you're in a TIFF, that's TIFFY, right? I think that should be a word. TIFFY is a word. The TIFFY. Oh my gosh, what in the world is this word? It's the tipping point, the TIFFY. So TIFFY is a word, but TIFFY isn't. Go figure. Okay. I think Merriam-Webster would dispute Wordle, but let's go through again. A, B, TIBBY, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, Ticky, L, M, Timmy. Timmy! Lassie, Timmy's in the well! Lassie! We used to love that show. Poor Timmy would fall in that well all the time, but Lassie was great. Tinny, Lassie and Rin Tin Tin. Oh, those dogs were heroes. And O, P, Q, I'm showing my age. T, Q, Q, U, R, S, Tissy, T, T, I, M. Still not going to use that word. T, U, V, W. The only thing left is Tizzy, and that's not a word. The only word left is we've gone through the whole alphabet is Tizzy, and that's not a word. That's slang. So I don't think that's going to work. If TIFFY's not a word, Tizzy should not be a word. Okay, go figure. All right, Wordle. This was crazy. I mean, people are not going to get this puzzle today. There's going to be a lot of people not getting Wordle today because ZZY, that's insane. Okay, so that's a fun way to start the week. Okay. So yesterday's Wordle I'll give away in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you've made me forget it, Wordle. Oh, it was blank. B-L-A-N-K. Another hard one. It's been hard for 3 weeks now, Wordle. And K is not a common letter. I went with bland before blank on the third guess. You know, going with the math, the D over the K. I think it was audio train, bland, blank, I think was how I did it. Audio was a great guess. Train was a great guess. And then I had a great shot on the third. But on my fourth guess, blank, that was the only possibility left. So the system did work in 4. One possibility. That's what you want. One guess left over the third or fourth guess. Okay. Have a great week and see you for tomorrow's video. Bye.